What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Musa Gaming here, and today I want to talk to you about the latest update that just rolled out into Rise of Kingdoms. And I gotta tell you, there's a lot of exciting stuff that was added to the game, such as the new Zenith of Power skin that you're seeing right here on the screen, as well as the new formation that was added, double line formation that does give you a little bit of buff in terms of marching towards barbarians, what it signifies in terms of the buffs that it provides from the inscriptions and so forth. And also at the same time, we have new commanders that are into the game. That was new gathering commanders. We're going to go and look at their skill set into the game as well as their skill effects. And also at the same time, we'll finish it off with the attack march changes that were into the game. So stick around as I'll be talking about a lot of things in this video. First things first though, I know that you guys are the most excited. You guys are most excited about this right here, which is the new and the latest Zenith of Power city skin that is added to the game with the new Zenith of Power mileage system that will allow you to basically get it if you actually push more than, as far as what I remember, 60 million power. So for those of you who are in a big Imperium Kingdom clusters, I guess you guys will benefit. For 99.9% of you, this doesn't really matter. Good luck for everyone who's going to push for this Zenith of Power. Because this city skin is actually all around really good. If you guys seen my last video that kind of went into a deeper analysis of how good this city skin is, this is probably the third or the fourth best skin for each troop type, and this is probably the single best city skin for people who are using Siege as their main march. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. And also at the same time, 5% action point recovery does really do well. So for those of you who are looking to get that 16% attack, troop attack has been buffed significantly since the rollout of the new crystal tech. So yeah, good luck for those of you who are running for this at the end of the day. Now, they did add the Echo of Eternity, which is the new city skin's special effect, and you guys can see that the only change it looks like is actually the fact that it has this like tornado become bigger. It does pop up, show this, but then again, I think the regular city skin also does that, right? It kind of absorbs a little tornado power, it pops up. I don't know. I don't know if this like effect is too really worth it. It's not as cool as the other one that we had, which was, I don't know if we have it here, to be really honest with you. If not, yeah, we'll just, yeah. But I don't know. It's just a little bit bigger. I guess for those of you who care about that, you guys can also push another whatever percentage of power. Actually, if you're pushing power over 40 million, I believe, and you won the Zenith of Power from being on the top 10 of the tier ranking list, you'll get this anyways, so it's not too bad. So I think a lot more people will get this effect than it used to be in the past Zenith of Power City Skin events at the end of the day. Also, at the same time, they added the Summit of the Supreme, which is a new city skins for integration. It'll give you 3% troop health and 3% training speed, and it has some upgrades, which it looks like it's more of a cosmetic upgrade. It will be wild if they actually do upgrade the troop health percentage. That means that they're gonna have all the way up to 12% troop health. I'm assuming. I don't think they should do that, to be really honest with you. Just because I think health is still kind of busted in the game. And if you're, what's the point of us releasing troop attack skin if you're gonna just go ahead and give this to all those people who are whales only? This puts larger gap between people who are in the Imperiums and has crazy power and kill KPs already, and those people who don't have that at the end of the day. So I don't think this should be upgrading, not at least up to 12%, I would say. But what do you guys think? If you guys think differently, please let me know in the comment down below. I know that this is really hard to get, but then again, still, like all the other past city skins for winning, like, you know, the Arco Osiris League Championship and all that, like those were also as hard to get as this one. But then again, didn't give you that much buff. I think it gave you like 3% or something like that, right? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you should be getting like 12% city skin. Yeah, this one, right? Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm assuming that it's gonna stay at 3% because this one's also 3% and then training speed 3%, so it should be identical. It looks really cool. This skin is on point in terms of the cosmetic. So if you're one of those people who are actually looking to get the transmutation on the cosmetic or transmog, whatever you like to call it, for your city skin, I think that will be a pretty cool skin that you can use at the end of the day, even if you have other Zenith Power City skin that does give you a lot more buffs. But yeah, so those two city skins have been added to the game. Again, Sands of Time, really good city skin. I would say it's probably the best city skin that we have so far in the game. Unless maybe we get like 16% defense, troop defense, then for some troop type it will be better. But then again, I think troop attack is now the second best city, stats that you can get for like archer or something like that. So pretty crazy stuff at the end of the day. Do you have new? Oh no, those are just for me. Okay, so those are the city skins that we have. And let's just go ahead and jump right into Commander, which is right here, conveniently. And if you scroll all the way down, you can see that we have some unlocked commanders that were added to the game. Kashmir the Third, as well as Pepin the Third. Those are both Integration Gathering Defense Commanders, I believe. Oh, no, Integration Gathering Support Commander for Pepin. But let's take a look at each and every skills of Kashmir the Third. Kashmir the Third, Integration Gathering Defense Commander. He has 1400 damage factor with 10% less damage taken. Normal damage taken by normal damage reduction for the targets that you actually hit with this, which is good. But it's not really that much stronger than I would say what we have already with the Gathering Commanders, as far as what I know. Right? Cleopatra gives you 400 healing. Where is Sunduck at? My Gatherer Sunduck. Sunduck gives you 1400 damage factor. So 1400 damage factor, not too impressive for Gathering Commander. I would say if they were to add a new Gathering Commander, to be honest with you, in 2025, I would say they would have to give like, I don't know, 3000 damage factor. I know it sounds crazy, but like, you know, you're gonna be farming with T1s anyways. So for those of you who are farming with T5s, at least you can kind of defend your nose. I don't know who's gonna care, who's gonna actually farm kill. So like, if you're going to farm kill, might as well get punished if you're attacking something that does have Kashmir the Third or Pepin the First, the Pepin the Third. It's what I would suggest that you do, but I don't know. I don't know about this at the end of the day. Now, gathering speed of 20%, universal gathering speed of 20% is really nice. And then you get extra gathering speed bonus for 10% is really nice. All in all, not too bad. Unit capacity is good, or whatever. And then siege attack of 40%. 40%, okay. If you're gathering from a resource point. So, and then the troop also deals 25% more damage. Okay, so again, I think they are on the right path of, you know, what I was saying before, where, hey, like, if you're going to attack or farm kill at the end of the day, if you chose the wrong ones, like those commanders, maybe the Kashmir the Third and the Pepin the Third might be a landmine, but I think the damage factor on this had to be at least like 2500 damage factor for that to be true. So I don't know how much of this will be really good. This is only applicable when you're actually using when you're actually gathering from a resource point anyways. So yeah, again, kind of like, what if they had more attack damage factor at the end of the day, and the active skill was kind of what I was hoping for at the end of the day. But not bad of a skill at the end of the day. Now, expertise. If this commander's troop gathers all resources from a resource point, you will receive additional resource items. Okay, good. So that's actually identical, I believe, to Cleopatra's. So not bad at all. His skill, active skill, looks something like, oh, he's slashing him with 2 swords. Okay. Cool. So that was Kashmir the Third, and then Pepin the Third. So Pepin the Third has active skill, Papa Anointment is how I say it. I don't know if that's true, but this commander troop gains a damage absorbing shield for 3 seconds with 1200 damage factor. For the next 3 seconds, the troop takes 25% less skill damage. Okay, so this is a shield commander. Does shield matter when you're actually using an active skill as a gathering commander? Probably not. I mean, I would have much rather prefer to see something like a damage factor, like huge damage factor skill damage, because at the end of the day, if you're getting farm killed, like shield is not going to get you anywhere, in my opinion. So it is what it is. It's the gathering commander, whatever. Let's move on. This commander's troop gain 20% gathering speed, and then it gains 10% extra wood. I believe this is the first commander that specializes in wood. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's not bad at all. Like, people in the early game does need wood, but... And also, it doesn't say that these commanders can only be used once you reach KVK 3 or later. So those two commanders are actually unlockable before KVK 3, it looks like, which is kind of interesting. That means that you get more gathering speed commanders in the earlier part of the game, which is good. Which is always good at the end of the day. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the third skill. Troop load 50%. Amazing. Okay. It is what it is. It's not going to give you really that much of an impact, but it is better than not having it at the end of the day. Let's go ahead and move on. If this commander's troop contains only siege units, whenever it is hit with basic attack, it has 40% chance to take 40% less damage for the next 3 seconds. Cooldown of 7 seconds. Okay, this is pretty cool. But then again, I think their damage factor should be higher. But yeah, now I think about it, given that they are pre-season of conquest commanders, if they have too high of a damage factor, you can't really use them. So like you could actually use them on the field. So yeah, now I think about it. Now I know that these are not the KVK season of conquest commanders. I think I understand their damage factor and whatnot. But yeah, it makes it a little bit more difficult for you to actually attack them. It is fine. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and move on to the expertise. After this commander's troop finishes gathering from a resource, you get 10% extra resources, which is good. Another wood gathering commander as well as gold gathering commander, both really good, I would say, for pre-season conquest commanders. I think their damage factor is not bad. His damage factor is not bad, so maybe if you have him paired up with Sunduck and you're gathering from a gold node, I guess you'll punish the enemy a little better. But then again, if both of them are gold gathering commanders, gold nodes don't really take that much troops at the end of the day. If you look at it here, let's find the gold node. Like even level 7, which is not available for earlier game player, yeah, you only need like 10,000 at max. So I don't know how much the farm killing like defenses that they will provide by having those damage factors and all those, like, oh yeah, if you're farming from a node, you deal more damage and all that. Like, I don't know how much of that's gonna really help at the end of the day, but we'll see. We'll see in the game. Again, it's better to have those commanders than not have them at the end of the day. I think is the take that I need to take. So yeah, let's go ahead and see where they go at the end of the day. All right, so those are the commanders that we were looking at. Let's go ahead and move on to the new formation that was added to the game. And that is double line formation. And double line formation is all the way down here. The formation itself will give you 10% march speed. And then once you go into Codex, you can see that it has special inscription now released into the game with the latest update. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those, see where they actually go with those. All right, so let's see. For the scroll, it has Vanquisher, which will have 40% more damage dealt to barbarian troops. Okay, is that written differently from payback? The wielder's troop deals 7.5% extra damage to barbarian. So this is actually identical to payback, but just with a lot more percentage. 40%. 40%? Is that high enough? Let's see. Let's see what if I were to actually send out my cav. Do we have damage to barbarians in somewhere here? I don't think so. If I were to attack something like this. Okay. So we all start with like 35% damage buff to barbarians. Unless you're using Minamoto, which has barbarian like killing built in, right? Barbarian damage built in. So interesting. So is doubling that bonus, is that good enough? I don't know. Let's go ahead and continue to see what they actually have in that formation as a codex and see where that goes. Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so that was Vanquisher. 40% extra damage to barbarian troops. Okay, that's nice. It would be crazy if they actually have Vanquisher and Payback kind of combined together. That would be 47.5%, but it is what it is. It's difficult to get. The rare one actually gives you only 15%. So, I mean, yes, they help, but not really. All right, second one was just going to be the instrument. We'll give you, whenever this troop defeats a barbarian troop, it recovers a portion of slightly wounded units with 1,000 damage factor. Okay, interesting. So they have a self-heal, which is going to actually heal yourself when you actually clear a bar. And then the rare one will give you 400 instead. Not really useful, in my opinion. A lot of commanders can actually sustain with whatever sustain that they have, to go to an extreme measure to get special inscription, rare inscription for that purpose. I'm not sure if anyone would actually be able to do that. So very mid to very, very useless inscriptions at the end of the day, in my opinion. Falcon's Pride. The wielder's troop gains 25% extra EXP. Okay, very useless. Another 10% EXP, useless. The reason why they're useless is simple. Is because by the time you actually get those inscription, you're not going to be in KVK 2, 3, 4, whereas you're actually in need of EXP books. Like, no, you're actually in need for EXPing up your commanders. By that point, you already have all your commanders like maxed out as level 60. Or you have enough EXP books to actually, avoid yourself from getting EXP from barbarians at the end of the day, right? So very, very useless. 2 inscriptions from the instrument as well as the flag. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the emblem. The wielder's troop takes 30% less damage from barbarian troops. Okay. And then the rare one will give you 12% less damage. Okay. All in all, I think this is a very useless formation. Even if you get the best inscription for these, you're going to get 30% less damage taken as well as 40% more damage dealt to barbarians, right? But then again, like, the fact that the middle two is very useless is actually the problem, in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, I think the only place that this can be useful, I watched like Chisgo's video, and like, hey, if you're pass swarming, this could be possible, like that you're actually looking into this. But then again, 40% barb damage, 30% less damage taken. 30% less damage taken is actually useless as well, because at the end of the day, you want to do as much damage as possible to barbarian, to open the passes a lot faster, right? So if this was extra 30% more damage dealt to barbarian troops, maybe it will be better. But just having 40% extra damage dealt to barbarians is the main thing that the core value actually comes from this inscription, and most likely this inscription alone. for this, as a matter of fact. So is that better than anything else that we actually see from, like, for example, like if you have Pincer, if you're a pass former, you have Pincer. Like, I think Toppler and Demolisher is absolutely a much better inscription, even against Barbs. In my opinion, even if you're like swarming the pass, then having extra 40% damage to Barb's stealth, in my opinion. So overall, I would say, yeah, I would say this is not a good this is not a good formation at the end of the day. Double line formation. I don't know what they were thinking when they made it. If they, I think when I first saw the inscriptions, I first saw the formation, and then when I first saw the that it was actually a bar formation, uh, what I said there still stands, which was, unless this gives like 100%, 200% damage dealt, extra damage dealt to barbarian troops, I don't think it's going to be really worth it. They only gave you 40%. At max 47.5% if you have double inscription on Vanquisher and Payback. I don't think it's worth it, like 100%. So don't get it. Don't even think about getting it, is my suggestion. If you are raising a farm, maybe you might be able to throw a useless, like, rare inscription moved into double line formation. But then again, when you're raising a farm, you're still, like, you still need to kind of, like, I think you still need to find a way for you to kind of prioritize your usefulness of a farm, which I think is better achieved with this, which is going to be the V formation, and then, providing more field support with your farm, with the siege tower, with max tech, like tier 4 is what I would suggest more than actually try to get special inscription for this one, is my suggestion. Also, another way that your farm can be actually useful is having the tulip, the stagger formation. And stagger formation, what it does, it actually gives you 15% march speed when you join a rallied army or garrison, which will be helpful when you're joining a rally or garrison, which is basically the sole purpose of your farm at the end of the day. And also at the same time, if you have rare or special inscription on your farms, you have 50% march speed when routed, which is absolutely crazy. Hasty retreat and fall back. I think these are more useful than whatever we have. And then if the wielded troop is in a rally or garrison but is not a garrison captain, it gives 5% Sev wound resistance, which is actually good for if you have a farm and you for some reason got really lucky with special inscription on your emblem, right? And those might be more helpful for you than having double line formation for your farm at the end of the day, is my opinion. It is my honest opinion. So yeah, all in all, pretty trashy special inscriptions, and hence pretty trashy formation that was just released to the game. Disappointing, but then again, I would rather have a disappointing formation than having a super OP formation. Like, we don't need a Wedge 2.0 at this point into the game, in my opinion, given how strong Chen Shuang has been in the game. So yeah, like, we don't want Chen to get like far stronger than it is already. So that's my opinion. That's my honest opinion. Let me know down in the comment down below what you guys think. But yeah, that is it. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the last thing that we have here, which is the attack march update. I haven't taken a look at this yet. So, but then again, combat automation, fight smarter, not harder. So this, what it does, it lets you turn on and off attack march like you always were able to, and then you can adjust the auto attack range. So for example, if I have auto attack range of this wide, and let's say I send out my best march, and if those were actually enemy troops, then he would actually go attack. And since I had set up just like really wide attack range, it will go ahead and attack a lot further. I would say like a decent percentage is actually somewhere around here, where if you see them within your range, they will still they will still kind of attack. But then again, if it's too much out of the range, you don't want your one marsh to get out of your murder ball and then just get destroyed by the enemy swarm, in my opinion. So yeah, if you're using auto march, I personally don't like to use auto march too much, but then again, with the addition of the new auto attack range, I might be able to use this a little bit better. Who knows? Let's see how that goes. And then it also added the auto retreat button, which means that set the unit's remaining thresholds for your attack march troops to return to your city. So if you're sending out an attack march and you're like, okay, well, if you didn't like attack march just because of the fact that it just like attack to death, right? That's what this is. This is like just like crazy. Let's go, kill you, kill myself, march, kind of thing. I don't care about the trade ratio. This actually mitigates a little bit more of the trade ratio perspective. So if you have like 30% set, I would say like 30% or 40% is like the most optimal. 20% could be also good. So anywhere between 20 to 40% is what I recommend. So if you're actually going out and attacking other marches, then once it actually drops to 30%, which is going to be like what, 70,000, you're going to deal only 30% of damage at that point anyways. So then again, having those marches return to your city, which I would think that the on the way to your city is safer than you marching into the enemy, is the new addition, which is, again, right here, auto retreat button. I think this is an awesome update. I think I would now consider perhaps using attack march a little bit more, just because of the fact that this actually does look pretty nice. And yeah, let's see how I go. I do have a new KVK opening up next week on both of my accounts, both my restart account as well as my main account. So we'll see how this new edition can be used. I'll try to test it out in my live streams as well. But yeah, those are all the changes that came into the game. Gosh, I talked for almost a half an hour about these, but there were a lot of new changes that I needed to actually talk to you about. So hopefully this video was helpful for you who haven't actually figured out all the features that were added to the game. If you guys did enjoy today's video, please go ahead and drop me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. All right, peace.